Alright, social media land, this is part 2 because my phone shut off on me for whatever reason, so I'm going to have to restart the video where I left off talking about these spark plug sockets. We're changing the plugs on this 2003 Ford Econoline van, and I picked them up from CarQuest, Autolite, Double Platinum, wonderful spark plugs, used them many times before. Now, for those of you who haven't done this before, you want to take your new one out and you want to go ahead and go over here to your toolbox and you want to figure out which of these spark plug sockets that it's going to fit. And it's going to be this spark plug socket right here, which is a 5/8, and whenever you go down on this, your plug is going to actually go in this direction, and it don't go in and then just start turning. You got to force it down till you feel that little rubber plunger on the inside there, that little rubber bushing. It's going to hold this spark plug socket in place. That way when you turn it out, it comes out and you just don't have to fight with it, try to stick a magnet in there and get it out some other way. You're going to want to use an actual spark plug socket to do this job, not a regular socket. Now that I've got my old faithful Nebo flashlight sitting up there, and I'm breaking out my brand new Pittsburgh ratchet here, it's got multiple functions. I'm going to stick her in here and I'm going to be able to get this thing out a lot easier than I normally would. See, this is why I don't need an extension or anything like that, because I can actually move this ratchet into place and work around the things that are getting in my way to try to get this spark plug out of here, and it makes my life a whole lot easier. As you can see, this ratchet picked up for $10. Specialty tool, and this is what it's used for right here, things like this, because I can bend it in the places I need to bend it at, and I'll have to stick a dozen adapters and swivel heads on it. It does the job I need it to do, and it's pulling that spark plug right out of here. That's why I done the review on this particular ratchet from Pittsburgh. It does this job. I didn't have to spend a ton of money to do it. It makes my life a lot easier, and there in itself, it has paid for itself right there, making my life easier. Now, let's see if she got her. Oh yeah, right there you go. Right there's your first spark plug of the day with this Pittsburgh Pro swivel head, swivel body ratchet. Now here's the old spark plug. It honestly don't look like it's in entirely too bad a shape, which this is one of those jobs I'm putting new plugs in it before it needs them, because the owner's manual calls for it, and that's exactly what I'm doing. We're going to take this out and put a new one in. Now you want to take your brand new one that you got, you want to stick it down in there, that way the socket holds it, and then go back and put it back in place. Now you want to take it off your actual ratchet, put it in there, get some threads started on it, that way you can get everything where you want it at. Go ahead and set your ratchet where you want it at. And that's another thing I like about this ratchet is it's nice and sturdy and tight, and it stays in the exact position I had it at whenever I took this thing out, so I don't have to readjust it or anything. All I got to do is put it back on there inside the socket and just go right back to work putting it where it belongs. And then you want to tighten this thing up until it's just barely decently snug. You don't want to over tighten nothing. You don't want to make the job too difficult. And you want to pull your ratchet back off there, and you want to feel around and make sure that your rubber boot is still down inside there, which mine is, and then that one is done. You can plug it right back up if you choose to and work around the other wires, or you can label these and make sure that you are putting them back on the right spark plug. Either way, make sure that these wires are not mixed up. Now in the event that little rubber bushing does come out of this thing, out of your spark plug socket, you can check out my video on how to repair a spark plug socket and go from there. But after you get this on, you decide which you're going to put on, which is going to be your wire, and then you're going to move on to the next spark plug and the next spark plug. And one of these ratchets here is really handy to have in this particular situation. You just once again take your actual spark plug wire, you get it over top of the plug, and you get a good position on it, and when you push it in place, you'll feel it click. When you feel it click, that's because the guts of the inside of that spring in this wire here is wrapping around the spark plug like it is supposed to be. Now it's officially on there, that plugs in, and I'm going to go to the next wire above, and you do the exact same process there. Pull it off, take it out, put a new one in, put your plug wire back on. It's the exact same concept here. You get in here, you pull that plug wire off, you you find your plug, you put your socket over the plug, and then you get your ratchet in place. Now, as you can see way back in there, I've got that socket on top of that spark plug, so now I just got to take my ratchet, put it back in there, bend it around the way I need it, and I'll be able to back that thing out. But also, just a tip, you might want to have yourself one of those portable magnets if you want to drop something on the ground, or you want to put something underneath it, some type of long, flat, like baking pan, in case you drop sockets, you drop spark plug, you know, make it easier to pull out. Just some small tip for, you know, thinking ahead. Now, as you can see, I've got my ratchet on here, and I've got it bent around several different ways. That way it fits all around this exhaust system. And it enables me to take this and ratchet it in and out. And this thing is going to back right out of here, and it makes my job so much easier. I'm telling you, if you ain't got one of these ratchets, you need to get one. Just for an example, as you can see, you can even get it from the bottom of this because of the way it is. I mean, it moves around the things that's in its way. The exhaust system, it moves around the exhaust breather. It's a wonderful ratchet to have in this process. That's 2 down and 4 to go. Now, I've done the exact same thing. I put the new plug in, I reach in there with the socket, I put it in the hole it belongs in, I put my ratchet back on here, and once again, I'm cranking it back where it belongs. And this is so easy compared to what I am used to. That's why you need the right tools for a job. You know, tools are tools. You need them because it makes your life easier. You need them because it helps the quality of your work, helps get jobs done. And that's what counts in this industry, is the quality of work and making your life easier. Now, there's a lot of times in these jobs where mechanics go by touch and feel because you can't see a thing, but you know the general location of what you're working with. Just like the main end right here, that spark plug socket's way up there. Now, if you get that on, you can probably get your ratchet on. But that's why I took the front apart here in video number 1, is so that you can reach down in here and get your ratchet on it and pull this thing out from the front if you need to. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, this particular ratchet has made my life so much easier. I should have made this the review about that thing, because yeah, this is my first official time using this particular ratchet, and it is working wonders. There comes the last spark plug on this side. But for those of you who wonder what this looks like getting it from the front, you've got to come in behind your alternator down here, and these wiring harnesses and all this stuff, and you can feel where the spark plug is, and that's where my arm is right now. And that actual ratchet will work all the way around it, so that I can get this from several different positions. Just your preference, whichever way makes your job easier. But the front plugs are usually the ones that require you to get a little bit creative on some models. So once all your plugs are took out and removed, you put your new ones in. You make sure they're tight, not too tight, just, you know, hand tight, one good little crank on them. You put your plugs back on, you take everything, put it back together, you fire it up, make sure it sounds right, make sure it runs right, and your plugs are changed, folks. It's just that simple. If you like, subscribe, hit the like button, ring the bell. If you dislike, thumbs down, leave a comment, either way, and I'll see you on the flip side.